Good morning, Realtor family. We are here with Chris Quiblin from Palo Alto, California. And Chris just entered the industry about 2 years ago and doesn't know a whole lot about YPN yet. So Chris, tell me about your experience in your first couple years in this wonderful real estate world.
Well, I started off as a transaction coordinator, learned the business, got my license about 4 months ago, and I've just hit the ball rolling, and it's been a fun time. A lot of hard work, but it's been a good experience.
What inspired you to get into real estate in the first place?
As a 16-year-old, I put out open house signs for realtors, and then I went to college and I stuck with it.
When you studied in college, what was the subjects you were studying, and how does any of the things that you studied translate into real estate?
Yeah, I was an econ major and an accounting major, so a lot of the concepts are basically the same. But yeah, it's even though I went to school, there's still so much more that I need to learn. But
there's never enough that you will ever know in real estate. You can always constantly be learning. But one of the things that you'll probably find pretty quickly is the power of networking. Do you have an experience in networking in other fields of any kind, even on a friendship basis?
I guess I'm kind of getting more involved with networking now that I'm on my own team. But you just got to be a people person. I try not to be too much of a sales guy. I like to get to know my client first before I want to get their needs rather than just trying to make a sale.
That's a wonderful way to go about it. So I'm going to tell you from my experience when I got into the industry, I had no idea how important it was to get to know as many people as humanly possible in the field. Because when you get out there and you start being successful, what you need to have is relationships. The same relationships you build with your clientele, the same relationships translate into what you need with your fellow realtors. So the YPN, the Young Professionals Network, it's meant for agents of all kind, but it's a way for you to get to know the other agent in the transaction. If you can put a face to an agent, a listing agent, for example, that you met over a cocktail after an educational event at a YPN, event or party, that little piece of that little connection can be the difference between your offer getting accepted and someone else's getting accepted. And ultimately, it raises the bar for you, it raises the bar for your business and the industry. So if I was to say, not that I could promise you, but if I was to say you're going to get an average of 2 referrals a year from simply going to a little party once a month, would you go to a YPN event?
Yes, I would, absolutely. But how would the referrals come from other agents?
Good question. So in your local area, you're meeting the agents, you're getting to know the community, you talk shop. But on the statewide, which you're at now, and on the national level, when people start to think about Palo Alto, they want to think about Chris Quiblin. So we use social media very powerfully and as much technology as we can absorb. Anytime someone needs an agent in Palo Alto, they're going to post who covers Palo Alto. This could come from Nevada or Wyoming or Washington, D.C. or L.A. They just don't have that connection yet. They don't have that referral yet. They meet you here statewide. They get to know, oh, Chris is cool, he's young, he's energetic, he's out there, he's service-oriented, he's not a sales guy, I like him. And the minute they post that out there and you respond, me, I'm here, I'm doing it, boom, you got a referral. It's that easy. A lot of us that have been in YPN for many, many years are getting up to a dozen referrals a year. It's a lot of money just by being here and networking. It's one of the most powerful tools we have.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought the YPN events were just concentrated within your area, so I was just thinking that it was only going to be agents from that area, specific area. But I'm sure you have other events across the...
Are you a director at CR yet?
No, I'm not.
So you're just here because you're here for Expo, kind of check everything out. That's another thing. The Young Professionals Network is a place of inspiration. So when someone gets involved, they start to see, wow, the power of what being a leader is. Not only does it bring you out of your box, it challenges you professionally, it challenges your intellect, but it might inspire you to leadership roles later down the road when you're 10 years and you're successful and you're living large, to tap someone else to inspire them to come into the YPN network and say, look what it did for me. Look at the success I've had just from networking, and you can do it too.
Cool. Well, what's next? What are the next steps?
The next steps are, one, come to our YPN mixer on Thursday night. I'll give you the information that's on a flyer. Introduce yourself, meet some people, talk about who you are and what you believe in, and just kind of get the ball rolling. And it's kind of like a snowball. From there, it gets better and better and better. You live locally, and you're in a very hot market, a very hot tech-driven market. There's tons of you. There's tons of realtors here. Everyone thinks, oh, this is an easy career. What's going to separate you out is making those relationships. So start doing that. Like the Facebook page of your Palo Alto association, and start listening to the social media tell you what the next event is. Go to them, be personal, get out of the box, relax. It's all uphill from there, or downhill. It's all good from there. So anyway, any questions you have for me?
How much does it cost?
YPN doesn't cost pretty much anything. Going to an event, sometimes there'll be an educational component that might have like a $10 fee for a class, something like that. But most of the times, the events themselves are sponsored by different companies in the industry, different vendors, and so they're getting themselves out in front of you, and you're getting yourself out in front of them, and it's pretty much free for the most part. It's not meant to be a financial burden in any way, shape, or form. It's not like a BNI group or something like that where you have to pay an upfront fee to get to know your fellow industry professionals.
Do you have to be young?
Great question. We get it every single day. No. And there's a lot of people that will respond different ways, but the reason it was called YPN Network to start off is because they didn't have a bunch of Chris Quiblins running around in real estate 15 or so years ago. The average age of a realtor was quite high. I'm going to guess it was somewhere in the 50s and 60s. Now the industry has changed. People start to see the value of being a realtor. Some people are going into it right out of high school. So it's a little bit different now, but the network itself remains strong and stays a powerful group of future leaders and just professionals that really want to raise the bar in the industry. It's for everybody. You can be 115 years old and come to YPN event and have just as much fun as if you're 20. So I don't think the name will ever change, but the message will definitely evolve as the industry does.
Cool. Nice.
Anything else?
What market are you in?
I'm in the Oakland-Berkeley market.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I handle most of the East Bay. I also work a little bit in San Francisco. So if you ever have anyone that wants to buy or sell up there, I'll give you my card. This is how it works. All right, Chris, thanks for coming by today. I appreciate it. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Depends what time. Like this Thursday?
This Thursday, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow evening. I believe it's at 7, but I'll give you some more details.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Thank you.